Hey everyone, what is going on? And we're jumping right into Extreme Bronco Live tonight with our special guest, Steph with North Shore Bronco. What's going on, Steph?
Not much.
If those of you have been watching for a while, remember earlier this year, Steph was on and the channel was a lot smaller then. And I was looking at the numbers today and thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. How are you tonight, Becky?
I'm great.
So I'm pretty good. So Steph, your channel is growing leaps and bounds. You're doing some cool stuff, and the videos are very unique. If anybody's watching this right now, you've seen North Shore Bronco videos, you'll know that the install of aftermarket parts has a little humor mixed in with it. And Steph, that's what we're going to start off talking with you about tonight.
Right,
so you don't edit out reality.
No, it's part of the reason I started the channel is, well, I've always been excited that the Bronco was coming out, and you're always looking for, reviews or previews, and it's not to bash car review channels, but
right,
they're all the same. They just say the same thing. Nobody says anything bad about anything, or it just doesn't feel real.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Cutter. You can watch a review on a Chev truck and an F-150, and it's going to feel like the same review. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to bring some realism to it. And same thing with the install videos. It's all like, they're basically wearing lab coats. They're like, oh, just put the truck on your hoist, on your $20,000 hoist.
Yeah, right.
And then let's use my $30,000 snap-on air ratchet and hydraulic drill, or what, all tools that nobody has. So and I do have a lot of mechanic friends, and I do have access to hoists and lifts and tools like that, but I do it with what I have and what I have at home, and I think it's more realistic, and it also gives an idea to people like, hey, yeah, I can probably do this, or I don't like what I'm seeing, so I'm not attempting to do that.
Well, yes,
real,
Yeah, some of the videos I was telling you, I was laughing because I was like, I felt your frustration or pain or whatever, because I'm like, I need to start videoing that, because it does happen to a lot of people.
Yes.
And stuff. Before we get any further, let's say hello to some people that you probably know their names as well. Nurse AJ, sure. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
502 Bourbon Crew, hello. What is going on? Mobile Motto, hooray! Bronco Wednesday. Yes, it is Bronco. Dirk Connor, Bronco 78. Overlanding for Fun said it's fine. That's just his comment. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. And hey, what did he win? Nothing yet, Tim. Who knows? Maybe we'll give away. You can make a Bronco payment for us or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Chris Byrne, what is going on? Okay, cool. I thank you for saying that. Chris said, hey, guys and gals, Becky, enjoying your content in a big way, very useful, real world end user material. So I think, definitely talking what we were talking about your channel, Steph. So I was watching a video some time ago, and it was where you were doing the hidden winch on the front.
Yeah.
And it looked cold. I mean, like anything before June is cold in Canada, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to you, you're like, hey, this is normal, but to me, it looked cold.
So where you are in Canada, what's the weather like right now?
Right now, oh, it's crazy hot. It was tomorrow's supposed to go up to 38 degrees Celsius, which is
I'm gonna have to convert that.
Yeah, convert it.
38.
Actually, I should know that, right?
I don't know. I remember that conversion. It's
going to be 104. It's going to be 100 Fahrenheit tomorrow.
100.4. Wow.
Yeah,
that's really hot.
That's like what we're experiencing here.
Welcome to southeastern Virginia, and you have a lot of mosquitoes up there, so it's always fun when you're working on the Bronco outside in the summer, right?
And the humidity.
So you'd rather do
bugs.
So you would rather do the hidden winch video in the freezing cold, or at least freezing.
Oh, I did it as soon as I got it. I had to get that on.
Yeah.
And plus, I was getting stuck in the snow and in the mud, so I needed a winch. So.
And we'll talk. I think you're getting ready to solve that problem, right? So, but you did the winch and you're putting it on. You had buckets propping it up and stuff falling, and And I thought it was great because, you know, that is real world. You don't have the lift, right?
No,
You're not in the heated garage. It's reality and you're doing it. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing about your channel is you show that, hey, this stuff, yes, it goes on, it bolts in and it works, but yeah, you know,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of work to it, right?
I
Yeah.
love the real life reviews. Like,
Yeah.
give it to me real. I don't sugarcoat it. I just want to know how it really is, and that's
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're in the doghouse right now, right? Something about something with two wheels or whatever.
It's
No, it's fine.
What you do?
Yeah.
If I haven't posted too many videos lately because summertime I'm always busy and stuff, but
Yeah.
we did, as you're probably going to bring up after, we did get a second Bronco
Yes.
right before the gas prices kind of skyrocketed.
Mm.
So we kind of
Gotcha.
had a little conversation. We're like, oh, we got to find a way. I work pretty close from home, so I was like, oh, maybe I should get a motorcycle and save some gas money. And then after a bit, we decided that I wasn't going to get a motorcycle, and that I should use my pedal bike to go to work. But a little deal came up, and next thing you know, there's a motorcycle in the driveway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I like your
It was
video.
$400 though. I mean,
$400 is $400.
no,
I mean,
it's not
yeah,
the end of the world. So
well, I saw your video and you kind of step out of the way, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so you had me hold on the fact you're going to be riding a bike,
Yeah.
and now you step over and there's the motorcycle. I'm like, wait a minute, okay, plot twist there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're sleeping outside from now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey Nick, what's going on? Mobile Motto said Dwayne probably wears a coat in 70-degree weather. No, I'm not that bad, Mobile. Hey Joshua, what's going on? Oh, let's see. Can that winch work on first gen Bronco? So you with
Like a
Rough Country
1969 Bronco,
70, I think he has.
is it?
I think Nick is either 69 or 70. I thought it was 70. I could be wrong. Sorry, Nick. But so when you're looking at Rough Country,
Mhm.
if you go to their website now, you're a brand ambassador. I think we talked about before the show started.
Yep.
So, you get to promote a lot of the stuff, a lot of stuff out there. What do you, I mean, overall, you've got the spare tire bracket on the back you just added. You did the hidden
Yeah.
winch in the front, some other stuff. What do you think overall?
I've always liked Rough Country products. I've used them before. Before I had my Bronco as well. I find they're a great value for the price. Like, you can pay a lot more for, better lifts and stuff, but I've never had an issue. I mean, if you're going to lift stuff, certain things are going to wear out faster, like ball joints and all that. And,
Right.
whether you go Ready Lift, Rough Country, Sky, like there's different brands. They're all, most of the components are the same. I know some people bash on Rough Country sometimes, but if you look at what you get for what you pay, like you're not going to get better value than that. And like the tailgate reinforcement, I think they were the only ones making it.
Mm-hmm.
The hidden winch solution, I mean, to me, I know the winch is a bit lower, but it's the best looking winch option that I've seen because I don't like winches that stick out 2 feet ahead of my Bronco. And they also listen to the customers because they made it for the 2.3 and they made it for the modular bumper, but now it fits the standard bumper as well. And it fits the 2.7. There's a kit now for anybody with the 2.7. You can get it. And I think they move the intercooler or something like that. So,
Oh, okay. You relocate that. Gotcha.
yeah, relocate that. Other things that I like, I like their new set of lights they have. They have amber daytime running lights.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be installing some of those on my Bronco. So I have the amber running lights.
Now you mean around the headlight, the ring and bar lights?
Well, just like fog lights or light bars, but they'll have the amber. You can have daytime running. They're just kind of like marker lights, the amber.
I got it.
So I find those look pretty cool. So
Yeah,
they got those coming out.
Some companies making the ring and bar, around the headlights. They're making the amber one sort of like that Raptor look.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. I guess I could be prepared. I just thought of it, but I've seen them offered somewhere. I don't know if it's Oracle or someone else, but yeah, they do. They have offered them. So on the winch, now what I'm interested about, or
Yeah.
so I have a modular bumper on my 21.
Yes.
And I don't like the fact that a lot of winches will hide the camera. However, I have Lux on mine. Is that does that winch, is it affecting the
Nothing.
what is it?
Adaptive
Cruise
Adaptive
control.
cruise? No.
So
it
it works
basically
with all
goes
that.
where your skid plate would go.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Yep. So
Yeah.
you take that out, because that's why removing the intercooler or relocating it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to look into that, because I want a winch, but I didn't want to lose most of my camera, and I
Mhm.
surely don't want to mess with the adaptive cruise control.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look into that.
Yeah. No, it's a great option, and you can get. I have the 12,000 pound synthetic rope. Yeah. No, it's great.
All right. So you added the rear spare tire bracket because you increased your tires, right? So what do
Yes.
you have there?
So originally I had 35s on my Badlands, and then when my wife got her Black Diamond, we were going to buy her a set of 35s, and it was like, well, if we're going to buy a set of tires anyway, why don't you just take my tires and I'll get some bigger ones.
Yeah,
so
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They'll fit fine. Yeah.
So I put 37s on my two-door Badland with only a 1-inch level.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So also you were doing some cutting on the crash bars, right?
Yeah, I cut the crash bars. I took the crash bars out, and then I trimmed a little bit, and I had to take the fender liner. There's a piece of plastic back there. Took that out, and then I zap strapped it like up and in, and it doesn't rub at all unless I use my stabilizer disconnect. So
Got it.
For now, I plan on lifting it higher, but for now it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely fine. Yeah, and probably I could probably send that. You could probably send that over. But yeah, Becky's looking at the Rough Country website right now, and it's a nice looking setup. I do like the way it works. I'm definitely going to look into that, but definitely interesting. And we need to start modifying our Broncos. I mean, a lot of people, look, for those that give me grief about my 21 that never have seen the beach once wheeling. It got rained on today. Okay. So I'm roughing it now. Yeah, I know. I'm just going with it. Right.
I washed my Bronco this morning, and it looks worse clean than it does dirty because
I was going to ask you. So you use your Bronco extra, at least from your videos, it looks like it gets worked. So in the snow, in the summer, in the trees, is it scratched up?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I figured it was.
I don't plan on selling it, so.
Well, you could always just put a wrap on it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
might have to put some putty fill before I put the wrap on.
Well, hey, but you're using your Bronco, right?
That's what I bought it for.
Yeah.
I remember you saying
and
that.
I get that comment all the time. I can't believe you're doing that to that expensive of a vehicle. And I was like, well, who's smarter, the person who buys something to use it for what it was built for, or somebody who buys something like that, a machine like that, and parks it in a driveway and just shines it? Like, who's wasting the money?
Yeah. Hey, Steph, switching gears a little bit, because I always try to bounce back and forth between the comments and what we're talking about. Nick said, is everyone using synthetic rope now instead of a cable? What's your take on that? It seems like more people are, right?
They are mostly with the hidden winch because of the fair lead, the way it is. Like with a cable, you get those rollers, but with synthetic, it's just like a fair lead with like beveled edges, and it kind of rides on that. And yeah, I recommend synthetic just because it's safer if it breaks. Steel cable is going to be a lot more dangerous.
Yeah.
I actually just saw something on Facebook the other day where somebody was pulling somebody out, and from the ball.
We saw
Did you see that?
Yeah,
that was
oh my god,
ended his life. Like,
we were talking about
never tow from your hitch ball.
Right. Yeah. That was horrible, and I hated to see that. And our condolences, obviously, to whoever's.
It's awful.
So yeah, I think Becky in at Bronco Off Rodeo,
Yep, I was
Texas.
getting ready to.
So you want to
talk about
elaborate
that.
on that?
So I went to the first ever ladies, all women's
Yeah.
Bronco Off Rodeo in Texas a couple weeks ago. Kelly and I
Awesome.
from All Terrain Nation went. It was awesome, like you said, just
Yeah.
incredible. And one thing that they did go over was a little bit of recovery. And they really focus on the recovery points that you're supposed to use when you're towing someone out, and then what kind of rope to use in different situations. But yeah, that's an important piece, is to tie off on those recovery points, so you're not pulling out your hitch. I mean, that was just awful.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Hey,
Mobile Motto said
from what I heard.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Seth.
I said the whole family was in the truck with
Yes, I saw that.
the man.
Oh,
Yeah, that is
terrible.
not good. Mobile Motto said tow balls are not recovery points, and that is a good point. They are not. Yeah, and I think there's also a multiplier. So what we learned was if you're between, say, the hub or center of the rim to the bottom of the tire, you're pretty much pulling the weight of the vehicle. But if you're above that point, you have to start using multipliers. So when you're if you need snatch blocks or not, you take the weight of your vehicle and you times it by 1.5 or 2 or whatever the math is. So if you're up to the frame and you're dragging the bumper and somebody's trying to winch you out, consider it's not just a 6,000 pound, right? So snatch blocks and things like that, and other types of recovery gear is needed, because you're going to you're going to do something wrong. And I think a lot of times people don't stand back far enough away from whatever you're doing. Synthetic.
People like to watch. They like to see what's going on.
Exactly. And I get that. And you just don't think about something so horrible happening. But I'm sure it happens more often than you think, that those ropes are snapping. Because partially people are probably using the wrong weight of the rope. They may not be rated high enough for what they're doing.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a rope. Let's go wheeling.
Because if I didn't know, okay, I have a rope here. Let's hook it up, and now I'll help you. But
Steph, where you go, and when you're getting stuck a couple of times there, you showed it on your video. With the winch now, you just tie off to a tree and you're out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, So you're not out there wheeling in the middle of a field where you don't have anywhere to tie off to.
No, there's there's trees everywhere.
Yeah, so you have trees like every 3 feet, it looks like, from the videos.
Or in the woods.
Yeah. How many trees have you? Let's see. You said body filler. Do we have any dents from trees yet? Or
just one?
Okay. I was going.
One dent. Yeah.
You've been very close. I'm like, I didn't see the bark leave the tree, but I know he hit it. He had to hit it. He was too close.
I will tell you some good things about the modular bumper. I've hit many trees with the bumper, and there's no dents on the bumper.
Right.
Sweet. So it holds up well.
Yeah. It does. Modular bumpers work. 4 High 4 Low said Steph knows about getting towed out of the snow. Yeah. So a couple of videos there.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah, that's one of the good runs we went on. It was just basically, you get towed out, then you go and tow somebody out, and then they tow you out. And
well, hey, here's a fun fact: overlanding for fun. When a synthetic mooring line breaks, it'll snap back at over 700 feet per second.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Man, I don't think we don't think about that so much. So, all right, tell us about the second Bronco. You mentioned that a little bit earlier. How did that come about, and did it replace something, or is it an addition to the family?
Well, it replaced my wife's Ford Ranger, and we just, I got the Bronco, and she loved it so much, but I wouldn't let her drive it. I'd let her drive it. Who gets to take the Bronco? And it was, it was my Bronco. I wanted it for so long, and she kept saying, "Well, we should have got a 4-door. It's a lot easier with the family. We have 2 kids, 2 dogs, and I'm sure you guys have seen my video where."
Oh yeah.
Yes, because that was one of my
family is a 2-door family.
Yeah. That was my burning question for you the last time we talked about.
And I think you dropped it like practical? A day or 2 after.
Yeah. Was it practical? Because I know after seeing your video, because I really wanted the 2-door for a while there. said, no, I'm going to have to stick with the 4-door.
Yeah. Didn't you leave 2 kids in the driveway when you left?
Yeah. I think I
I
remember
did the
that.
video.
That was cute.
They're fine.
They're fine.
That's how you
Yeah,
fix it.
Yeah, that was. I love seeing all the the packing in there. And Becky said that's right on time because a lot of people want to know. Yes, there's 2 seats back there, or seats for 2. But
well, and I find myself too taking pictures of all the stuff I can fit the back of my Bronco. But again, talk about real life reviews. People want to know. So
and then I showed that. So it was about that, and then she saw how my channel was doing pretty good, and I think that was the deciding factor. We said, okay, well the channel's doing good, and if we get a 4-door for her, then at least I can make videos with the 2-door and a 4-door. And so we ordered a 4-door, and then 3 months later we had it.
Well, and that's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. Hey, everyone watching right now, if you wouldn't mind us, hit that thumbs up button for us. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That does a lot. But if you hit the thumbs up, YouTube starts telling other people about us, and we can join in on the fun, whether it's live or on replay. Steph, I do have a question for you now. This is going to be hard to gauge because you've modified your Bronco. But if you remember back when you bought your 2-door Badlands, how it rode then, or even now with it modified, doesn't matter. What's the difference in the drive, in the comfort, and the ride between the 2 and the 4-door?
It's a little hard to say because my 2-door has 37s on it, and it's a standard, but we have the 2.3 for both. What I will compare, we had a Ford Ranger with a 2.3, and her 4-door with the 2.3 with 35s feels peppier than a Ranger did with 33s. We only had 33s on it. And I think that has to do with the gearing, but maybe also the weight of the vehicle. But that 2.3 engine is actually really, really good for the Bronco. So I will say that. And it does push those 37s quite nicely. Going from 35 to 37s, I do feel it a little bit. And I think the biggest problem I have with it being a standard is that the 2.3 is so quiet. And now that I have louder 37s on, I don't really hear the engine, or I can't even feel the engine. So it's hard to feel the when to shift sometimes.
Because you have the manual, so a lot of that's in the seat. What you're not just watching the tap, right?
But you don't feel anything because it's just so quiet. And so I was considering getting an exhaust, maybe just to get a bit more, but I don't like the sound of 4 cylinders with exhaust.
Yeah, it's not like that V8, right?
No, but the ride is amazing in both of them. I take people in my 2-door short wheelbase with 37s on, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is smoother than my truck." Like, I think it's because it's an off-road suspension. It's built for it. It's And
unlike the other brand, the IFS, some people can criticize whatever out of it, but in the 99% of the terrain, or where not just terrain but on the road, it's a predictable drive and it's comfortable. And sure, there's some things that you can tweak aftermarket, just like engines, right? You can tweak stuff aftermarket and do stuff there. But I mean, overall, where the Bronco is going to experience most of his life, it's fine. Sorry, to quote a great Bronco owner there, but no, it seriously is. I'm like you. I want to go rock crawling, just say I've done it, but I want to use Steph's Bronco to do it. I don't want to use mine. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I want to rent a Bronco to do it because it's just not something in my wheelhouse. Now I'll say it would be fun to do, right? We can say we did it, but we're used to, sort of your terrain there without all the snow.
Yeah.
And a lot of sand.
Yeah.
So our deal's the beaches.
Sand dunes would be fun. I'd love that.
Oh man.
Well, and it's a different type of terrain. You've got to know when to not stop, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Because stopping in real loose sand, especially going up the dune, that's where it's at.
But I will say,
what do you air down to when you go in the sand?
20 psi.
20 psi.
Oh, that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
So
See, I go down to like 5 psi in the snow.
Oh wow.
Well,
you need to float on top, right? So
and we could go
you're not going
lower.
as fast. So
Well, and here's the thing: where we go, there's a speed limit. It's 15 at one part and 35 at the peak.
okay.
So, and you can't really do any crazy stuff. So it's not like you're going to roll a beat or anything, because you're turning hard or everything's so soft. Could we go 15? I guess we could. As a matter of fact, we ought to try it. When we take both Broncos, we ought to
you
try
could go down to
15.
10.
Yeah.
I want to say
Go
at
down to
off
10
rodeo.
easy.
I want
What?
to say that at off rodeo that they had them air down to 18.
18.
I think. And we purposely tried to get the Bronco stuck in the deep sand, and it was so easy to get out.
Right.
So now I'm just not even scared about getting stuck.
You mean our Bronco or their?
No, their Bronco.
Oh, their Bronco.
At the off rodeo. Yeah, they wanted you to get it buried a
Well,
little bit so you could try to get out and just they could tell you what to do. It was really easy. But so I was a little apprehensive before of getting stuck. I was so nervous about getting stuck in the sand at the beach.
Yeah.
But so we always were steady and everything. And no, we've never struggled in it. But now I'm like,
Never.
shush, we got this.
So her level of confidence went up a few degrees because now, just like when I went,
I know more now. I've experienced it, whereas before.
And unlike you, Steph, you get the 4-wheel on your property, whereas for us, it's a trip somewhere. So we have a lot less of even experience in the past because we are new to off-roading. I'm not going to, driving an F-150 in the 80s back through some woods on a trail is not exactly wheeling experience, right?
No,
it was just I drove on a path. So you've been, I guess since you've been driving, you've been doing wheeling of some kind, right?
Well, driving in the woods and stuff like that.
Right.
We've had a couple Jeeps and I've gone on some runs and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. Like I wouldn't be an expert rock crawler or anything. I've never done it. So but driving in the snow and deep snow and going to the camp, like we've always tried to make it to our camp in the winter and even in the car, like you learn things, right? So yeah.
Or sleeping in the Bronco when it's like what? I forget what the Celsius was, but like 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, minus 20 Celsius or something.
Yeah,
without an air mattress.
Oh my goodness.
No, but the cool thing is remote start, right? So from the back, crank it up, let it heat up, turn it back off.
Yeah.
That's just living the highlight.
See how I started it in the morning? I used my tripod to push the clutch down and it's like you're not getting out when it's that cold in a cold Bronco, right? So I get it. You've got. I didn't want to get out of my sleeping bag, so I just used the tripod, push the clutch down.
That's funny.
So it's pretty brave to do that, honestly. But you're showing somebody. What if you were wheeling for the day and you didn't go wheeling with a buddy like you're supposed to, and you got stuck? And what should you bring? We were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
What should you bring with you?
Yeah, I think it's SOL makes like a sleeping bag that fits in a small. It's like an emergency sleeping bag. That'd be a good thing to have.
Yeah.
But it's definitely doable. You're enclosed, so the elements aren't getting to you. But you need blankets or something to keep you warm. But
let's hit some of the comments here, and then I want to find out when you're going to start modifying the 4-door. Mobile Motto said minus 40 equals 40 degrees. There you go. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? Let's see here. I'm kind of the same way. I don't want to drive my Bronco. And Nick said, I'm kind of the same way. I don't want to drive my Bronco when I go rock crawling. I want to ride in someone else's Bronco. Nick, you and I have something in common there.
Yeah, especially
and I know
that first scuff that you get underneath.
Yeah. So what the modifications, and we'll finish going. And thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way, and your comments. I do appreciate it. We're going to kind of go through them a little bit later, but Steph's time is valuable here. So we want to try to hit all these questions, and then we'll go through the comments, try to answer everything if possible, but I do appreciate you being here. 4-door, what are the modifications that you have in mind? Okay. Well, is your wife watching? So, because then, I understand.
It's fine. Oh. So if you go to my Instagram, we've already modified it quite a bit.
Okay. So you moved the tires over. We know that, right?
Well, yeah, I moved the tires and rims that I had on my other one. So they're the fast HD knuckles with a 0 mil offset and with 35 Toyos. We put a 3.5-inch rough country lift kit on it, and I put AL2 drop steps, rough country drop steps on it. What else? I'm gonna put the spare tire reinforcement on it. I just didn't get around to it yet. And I did put the rough country has tie rod sleeves for the front now.
Okay,
for the,
gotcha.
For the outer tie rods. So when we put the lift on, I had those put on at the same time. So, but that's it for now. I have a bunch of stuff from Bartac coming in too. So that's the grab handles and stuff that I bought for mine. I really like them, so I ordered the blue set for my wife's Bronco. She likes those, and some door bags as well.
Yeah, we kind of went through some of the Ford store. We got the cargo nets for the back for some traveling stuff. I did want to get it because I kept thinking, a lot of the old Mustangs that I've ever had and in the past came with the really cool features was the luggage stuff for the trunk or the toolkit or the roadside kit. So I did the toolkit and the roadside kit for one Bronco just to say I have it.
Yeah.
But the functional stuff like door bags, we have that.
Yeah.
We do have a manufacturer sent us some aftermarket parts they want us to try and give us our opinion on it, and we're getting ready to do that, and it's going to be fun. And some other stuff like that, but the modifications are going to definitely start. I wanted the Broncos to be factory, not modified at all for a while, right? And then I would just kind of ease into it because, quite honestly, we didn't know if we were going to keep the green Bronco. So we have two Badlands. And my wife liked it so much, we sold the Range Rover. And so now we're keeping it. So now we're going to invest that money into it. Mobile Motto said, and I hope I'm not this. I have no idea what a whoopee is. I have a whoopee in my Bronco and slept in it at Oshkosh. So whatever that is.
I'm laughing at one of your comments. You just said that, you want to ride in your Bronco unmodified for a while. When my wife's Bronco, I work at a dealership, by the way. So when my wife's Bronco came in, my salesman, who's my buddy, he walked in the garage, and I'm under the Bronco with a grinder cutting the crash bars off. And he's like, "You didn't even sign for it yet."
Yeah. And you're already.
I'm like, "Don't worry, we're taking it. We're taking it. Don't worry."
Yeah, it's fine, right?
So,
yeah. So, but yeah, I and that's the thing with us is the day we got the second Bronco, it was one of those surreal moments. It's like, okay, we thought it was going to be here much later in the year. It showed up early and all that, story. And I remember driving away that day thinking, okay, well, if we get to keep this one, what are we going to do to it first? And I will tell you, you're braver than I am. No grinders yet. But the stuff we want to do is, bolt on type stuff, and removing body panels and stuff like that, which we have to, and one of the components we're getting ready to do, we have to loosen some stuff, and I'm not crazy about that, but we'll see how it goes and we'll go from there. Nurse AJ said, if you haven't already, please smash that like button for Dwayne. Thank you, Nurse AJ, for reminding everyone. And I would ask you to do that. It would be awesome. And by the way, if you're watching, and you've never seen North Shore Broncos videos, which I'm sure you have, head on over after the live stream and check out North Shore Bronco on YouTube and hit that subscribe button over there and check out some of the videos. I can assure you that they're fun to watch. Steph, one thing I'll say is they're educational. You're seeing real parts being put on a real Bronco. And, we talked about in the beginning that it doesn't always go as planned.
No, it does not.
And I think a lot of people
goes as planned.
Well, no, but I mean, that's reality, right? And people need to understand that.
Yeah.
So they're not frustrated when they say, wait a minute, why didn't this go like the video? It's like,
it might go like my video.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say. I make all these mistakes, so you don't have to.
Exactly. And well, here's one thing I learned. So what if I did the rough country reinforcement bracket for the spare tire? Well, I know now that the third brake relocation kit, right? Don't forget to order it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there was some,
I haven't installed it yet, but now I have it.
But there was some bolt when you were, you had some bolts that were the wrong ones or something. And yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens. And
Yeah.
the reason why I bring it up is because I put something together not too long ago, and like I was so proud of myself. I didn't need the instructions, and heck, so I had to pull it back apart because I forgot two things that were critical.
Yeah.
So I get it. So instructions they're optional in some cases. Yeah, we say in the building business that blueprints are a suggestion. So you try to get as close to it as possible.
That's
Chris
why you'll
Burns said,
see.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for instructions, most of my videos, you'll see me. I look at them and I constantly just throw them away.
Yeah, I think
But then
he
the
kept
next
the one
scene,
for
I'm
the
looking
bracket.
at them again. So
Yeah. Well, I like looking at them at the end, say, okay, did I get it right?
Yeah.
Like how close did I get without it? Chris Burns had 99.9% leaning towards manual. Okay. This is a good
do it.
auto seems it may get boring. Okay. So do you like that shifting, right?
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I drive my wife's, and it's like, oh, it's nice, but it's not as
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
You know? And the only reason she wanted a manual as well, but because we're in Canada, she wanted a command start more than a manual.
Got it. Well, that was the other thing too. So you use your clutch quite a bit, and the wheeling. Obviously, when you're driving, you're using a clutch, shifting every gear. But I mean, when you're wheeling, when I say using it, I mean you're high torque situations, right? You're giving it gas, you're coming out on the clutch. I mean, wouldn't you agree you're more RPMs per clutch movement than on the street?
Yeah.
So have you had any concerns or clutch issues or anything like that?
None.
Okay.
Well, none. And what's nice about the manual too, like when you're going off road, like if it's not too bad, I'll stick in 4 high. But if a lot of places that I go, I'll go in 4 low, not for like the traction, but just because I want to slow down the gears, because I don't want to go too fast because there's so many trees and I'm in tight spots.
Right.
So if I go 4 low crawler gear, like I don't have to have my foot on the clutch constantly. You know what I mean? It's a slow crawl. So I use it to vary my speed. Yeah.
You ever shift without the clutch?
I've done it, but not with the Bronco. I didn't try.
Yeah. I had an old Ranger. I think it was a 2.3 or 2.5 years ago. And yeah, it was when you took off in the first, after that, it was just fun but I definitely wouldn't do it to a $60,000 vehicle.
No, I've done it with my old, I had an SV650 motorcycle and I used to do it with that. But
yeah. 4 high, 4 low said something interesting. It said, they said, Steph, it appeared in your video that the Jeeps went through the snow better than the Bronco. Is that true?
the Jeep with the 40-inch.
Right.
40-inch tires,
more ground clearance and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
and I think
my last one, it was I had 35 by 12.5-inch tires, and my buddy Dave, this is probably the video you're referring to with the he's got a gray Jeep. They're 37s, but by 14.5. So, yeah. But I'm anxious to go back this winter now that I have 37s as well. They're not as wide as his, but I think I'll do a lot better this time.
Yeah, overlanding for fun. I don't get out much. Thanks for sleeping bag there. Like I said, I seriously don't get out much. So, but yeah, and that's going back to one of the bags there. Let's see. Oh, Nick said, Dwayne, I've got pictures from the Tom's Off-Road event. If you get on Facebook or Instagram and send them over, I'd love to see them. Definitely would. Steph, this reminds me, Tom's Off-Road is an event in the States, western part of the country. Are you planning on doing anything event-wise? How's traveling outside of Canada for you, or is that a no-go, or what's the plans?
It's mostly time. I only have so much vacation time with the kids and stuff. Like I've looked, I think there was an off-rodeo in Wisconsin or something. Is that on the East Coast?
Well, there's New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, I think I was looking at.
Yep.
Because that's not bad. I think it was only 18-hour drive for me.
Mm-hmm.
But, with the kids, if I take a week vacation and 2 days driving there, 2 days driving back, then you got, so it's a lot.
It is.
I definitely eventually want to to go down to an off rodeo or to what is it there? The celebration, Bronco celebration, super celebration.
Yeah, they have different. They have Super Celebration East. They have North now, which they just kicked off the first one, and then there's West. West is in Colorado, North is in Wisconsin, and then East, which is the original and I think the biggest one, is in Tennessee. Eastern Tennessee. Yeah. So yeah, definitely need to get Johnny down from he's up in Canada as well. Johnny's Car Care Review. Yeah, man, he's got to come down there. Yeah. That would be cool to get everyone there. Like we'd have a blast.
Fun,
sure. And I'm sure we could find some property to go wheeling on down there. But New Hampshire, if you go to that one, I think you'll like it because and there's two opinions on this. Do you go to the off rodeo that is in closest to your type of terrain? And if you do, then that would be New Hampshire. Or do you want to go somewhere that you don't get to wheel and you just want a different experience? And then, of course, that would be any of the other ones, especially Moab.
Yeah.
So I think, that's some of the cool stuff there. So modifications on the 4-door, we've already talked about that. Was that a capable bumper on the front? Did I see that?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
How do you like that?
It's grown on me. 26 hours. I just checked to see how long it would take me to go to Tennessee.
Wow.
26 hours. Hey, well,
Anyway,
yeah, you can do it.
You can throw the Bronco on a train or something.
Yeah, right.
The capable bumper, I don't know. The look has grown on me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen the new Rough Country bumpers they came out with.
No, I need to go back to their website and look at it, Becky.
Yeah, we're debating throwing that on her Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
Which bumper was it?
I'm definitely going to put the Rough Country rear bumper. I really like the look of, so that's going to go on mine. But I'm going to keep my modular bumper in front.
Got it. I like the modular.
What?
I like the modular bumper. I think they're.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
But I like the capable too.
Yeah, and Becky has the capable bumper. And here's the thing: if you're not going to modify your Bronco, if you don't have plans for a winch, then the capable is cool because you have the recovery hooks or points in the front, and then you have factory fog lights.
Yeah.
So you don't have to add the fog lights or anything. Not that it's hard, but if you don't want to work on it, you don't have to do it.
Yeah. We might just add a hidden winch to hers because, she's my last resort if I'm really stuck.
Okay. Well, that's the exception. The hidden winch will work with the capable.
Yeah, it should.
Because it just goes where the bash plate is. So it's
still the same. That's why I was messaging you before I had it. And I was like, hey, does this fit?
The skid plate.
Because Rough Country hasn't had anybody with a capable bumper to be able to test the hidden winch, but it mounts just like where the bash plate goes. So if the bash plate's the same, it'll work. So
okay, well I didn't know if that was for a friend's Bronco or something like that. Now I remember that. Well, I did a video because since you messaged me, I had 3 other people ask.
Yeah, well, that's why they want to know if they can put certain accessories.
Yeah,
and I don't think Rough Country put it on their site because they haven't confirmed it themselves.
Right. Well, what I did was the number that I originally gave you as a part number was a manufacturing number, and then we traced that back, and then I put on that video. I forget what it was, or the bash plate's the same. I think it's the name of the video. I put the part number in the description because I've had several people ask me, and I guarantee that's why, because that may be Rough Country.
Yeah. Well, I double checked it at work too, because especially now that I have both. I have like on my Badlands and on the Black Diamond, it's the same bash plate, same part number.
I'm going to message you on Instagram about another. There's 2 more plates listed on the Ford's parts there that we never talk about. And I think it's an interesting subject. Okay. Maybe and definitely maybe a video coming about that. The reason why I don't want to say it now is because I don't have enough info on it to talk about it. But it looks like there's some more replaceable pieces there that we don't get to talk about. So with the getting outside of your Broncos, when you look at, say, the Wild Track with a 3.0, is that something that interests you? I did see your short on the Raptor, but what do you think about the Wild Track 3.0?
The 3.0 suspension?
Yes, the optional 3.0 suspension.
Okay. I thought you were saying that it came with the 3.0, the same engine as
Oh, yeah. No, I need to clarify that. No.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you right now that I almost regret getting a Badlands, because the reason I went with a non-Sasquatch Badlands is I wanted the manual, so because it's 21, but it limits you with lift options and modifications, because a non-Sasquatch Badlands is so like the minority. Like the companies all came out with lift kits for the regular suspension Broncos, and then some of them started coming out with Sasquatch Bronco lift kits, but there's not a lot of options for a non-Sasquatch Badlands because of the Bilstein suspension. And I know Zone Off-Road has a kit, but I am a rough country ambassador, so I'm waiting for them to come out with something, and apparently they are looking at options. But my 37s are stuffed pretty tight in my Bronco. So what do I think about the Wild Track with the 3.0? I think if you don't plan on modifying your Bronco, then sure, go ahead. But for me, I like modifying my vehicles. So
right.
If I were to do it again, I was even thinking I might even go for like a base model Sasquatch. But it's hard because I really want for myself that front. I need that front locker.
Yeah. And Becky can tell you, when at Texas Off Rodeo, there was a night and day difference. Certain situations where you hit the locker or took it off, you could really tell.
Right.
So yeah. I mean, you know it's a. Hey, so Jonathan had a question, and I think this might be in one of your videos, but you know best here. Will 37s rub on stock Sasquatch with rims with a bigger offset, or do you need a lift? So if you've got a bigger offset, you have 37 Sasquatch. With this, it looks like he's asking with the
they will
Sasquatch rims. So
they will. You're going to need to cut out some stuff. I don't have a Sasquatch, but I have a 1 inch. I only have a 1 inch level on mine, which brings it up to almost what a Sasquatch would be on my Badlands. So you can watch. I have a video. So I stuffed the biggest tires I could on my Bronco, and you can see what I had to cut out and remove. The further out that's true, because your turning radius, further out you go, you have more chance when you turn to hit against the crash bars and stuff. Right. A 15 mil offset is ideal, I believe. I have 0 millimeter offset. Stock, I believe, is 55 mil offset. Sasquatch comes with 35 mil offset, but you want to bring it out a little bit.
Gotcha. And Mobile had a good point here. He said the further the wheels protrude, the more lift that you need. So, right, you need the clearance there. So I've seen a lot of people. I just think that if the sway bar or the stay bar, front stay bar disconnected in your Bronco, you're going to need the lift, right? Because you're already hitting. But it's not just that. It's that you want that articulation. You want the room for, if you are rock crawling, you have a lot of that going on. You just want the room there, I think. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and of course,
I'm not happy with how my Bronco is right now. I can do what I do, but I can't use I love my stabilizer disconnect in the woods because it just makes the ride smoother, right? You're going up and down or whatever. And it's just, it's too tight right now. I'm like, the wheels are tucking in too close for my liking if a rock gets in there or whatever. Do I like one better than the other?
I asked you this earlier.
Yeah. The only thing that I like better is I wanted the front differential.
The front locker.
The bigger diff.
Yep.
Honestly, and I love the marine grade vinyl, but there's so many companies making nice seat covers now. Like Bartack makes, you can get marine grade vinyl seat covers from Bartack that are just amazing. Rough Country has a neoprene set, I think, that looks pretty good. So that's why I kind of, as much as I love my Black Diamond, I might go, if I could do it again, just go for a base model. But then again, I love my cameras too.
Right. So
But
you
they're expensive when you break them, though. If you break them, so
or are this? I haven't talked to anyone that's had to do it. So you'd probably know best on that. They are expensive.
well, I know that I priced a mirror out on mine. I had an issue, but it ended up being a warranty issue. It was $2,000 basically for a mirror with the cameras in it for a Badlands. So
Yeah, that's insane. So and you think about this. You just said you like your cameras, you like the front diff, and so I think that's what a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
A lot of people struggle with the fact, well, I want to go with a base. Maybe I get another one, I upgrade, and then what happens is, I can't live with that. I can't live, and next thing you know, you're back to the trim that you had.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim with Overlanding for Fun said, "How far north are you?"
I'm in northern New Brunswick, so it's not too far north. Just north of Maine, on the East Coast.
Yep. Let's see here. I was trying to go back through some of these.
And sorry, I didn't really answer which one was better, Black Diamond, or depends if you want that front locker or not. Or if you're going Black Diamond, but you're going Sasquatch, then makes a difference too, because you'll get your.
Well, and that was the thing. I had someone ask me a question. I feel bad when you were talking about Badlands, Black Diamond comparison. I didn't even think, I didn't respond to them yet. They said, "Why did you get to Badlands?" And I was hoping Becky would like it, but what if she didn't like it? And basically I was looking at, well, if I had to resell it, I just felt like on the resale side, it would be better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Luckily for me, she wanted to keep it. And luckily, lucky for us as well, the used car market's so hot right now that our Range Rover, went, it fetched a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Any other market, you're kind of, don't really know what's happening. Someone that I know posted their Bronco for sale because they're doing some other stuff now, and the inquiries coming in about it are insane. So, and we didn't upload. I don't know if I can do it real quick, but we didn't upload that number. Did you see the Ford sales numbers for July for the Bronco?
I can pull it up
though. Oh yeah, they sold
10,000 and some change.
Yeah, and they only made 3,000, I think.
Wow.
Well, I didn't see what they made. I thought the manufactured was. Yeah, it's a good point. Maybe I overlooked that. I know it's like 10,647. Becky's pulling it up right now. So it says this is Bronco sold, right? So for July, what is that number? 10,621. So Bronco's roughly 65,000 units for the year. So based on that, 100,000 is achievable, even though production does stop in October. I read
year to date is 65,000.
Right, 65,000 Broncos year to date
through July.
Okay, year to date. So, maybe 100,000. But if you're stopping production in October, how many, I guess, are sitting at MAP, right, waiting on something?
Parts.
Yeah, and so that who knows what that final number be? How are you on that? The production numbers.
How am I on that? What do you mean?
Well, what's your opinion? Are you feeling good about how they seem to be delivering a lot of Broncos lately? That number says it in June. I think the number was 8,000. So obviously a couple more thousand Broncos in July.
I'm seeing a lot more vehicles, period.
Yeah.
I work at a dealership, so I see them come in all the time. But, a couple of weeks ago, we got 3 Broncos, which we had never seen that many before. Ford Lightning, those started coming in. F-150s came by the truckload. We had a big rush of, no vehicles, and then boom, they're all there. So it's starting to pick up. I think, I don't know, something's going good. I think they're starting to refine what they're doing. But yeah.
Yeah, and I was following a lot on the chips early on, and I remember, and it was on one of our lives, so go back and watch the replay. I want to say it was in May, that I was seeing a lot of chips being freed up, semiconductors being freed up for manufacturers then to start producing vehicles the way they were being ordered, right? All the options, they weren't having to ship stuff, missing key components or having to take that out of the ordering option. So I started seeing that free up a lot. And I think, we're still, I think wiring harnesses across manufacturers right now, wiring harnesses seem to be an issue. And I think a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of parts come from, Europe, and especially part of Europe right now that has a lot of, stuff going on. So, neon gas, which is made in making chips and the wafer, I think, everything's all intertwined anymore. So barring the wiring harness stuff, I think everything else is freeing up to the point. And that's why you're seeing these truckloads of things at the same time. Interest rates going up, right? So that might start squeezing people into other price ranges. And, you were talking about a base. So if someone had their highs set on a Badlands, but suddenly now the interest rates are where they are and they don't want to do a deal like that and they want to buy one that costs less, there's nothing wrong with a base, base Sasquatch. We in Tennessee, we had Kyle was our driver there. And he really showed us what the Bronco is capable of, and we were in a 2.7 base. Yeah. So. Oh
yeah, especially if you go Sasquatch, then it doesn't really matter because the things that were important to me, like the screen, the high package, the big screen, it's nice. But when I drive my wife's Bronco, I don't really notice a difference. Like the small screen is like what the big screen used to be in the F-150s. So it's that's not a big deal. The heated seats, you can add those quite easily. Aftermarket.
They're nice.
Yeah.
I wish we could have cooled seats though.
And the big difference in price too, like we were looking at another Badlands for my wife, but here in Canada, if we spec'd a Badlands the same as we spec'd her Black Diamond, it was a $7,000 difference. So we were like, well, for $7,000 for a front locker that she doesn't like off-roading, so she's not gonna, unless she has to come get me. She's not off-roading that Bronco,
The recovery vehicle. I see what you did there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Exactly. That's smart.
The most she's gonna do is like in the winter when we go to the camp, once I get the trail packed, she'll probably follow me in with that Bronco.
Hey, how far away would you say that I don't want to get in your personal business, but like that trip to the camp, what does it take you to get there?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, it's
close so then. It's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what, we keep looking at. We need a cabin somewhere. And I'd prefer to be out of the state that we're in because I'd like to have something in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Eastern Tennessee.
We just want a place to stay for Celebration East.
Yeah. That's my excuse, right? No. I need somewhere just to go and get away from like everything. Like I don't care if there's an outhouse and a well, and of course she won't go then, but that'll just be Gavin and I's little camp.
I'm really not into the whole outhouse.
She'll stay at the nearest hotel.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm a glamper. A hotel glamper.
So we are planning to head to Michigan at the end of August. Well, as long as nothing goes sideways on us, but we plan on being there for the Windward Dream Cruise. Yeah, look. Yeah, Mobile always has that interesting point of view. KOAs are affordable. Well, they are. I know. But it's just, you can't say like it's my bug out cabin in Tennessee somewhere. Sounds cooler to say that. Let's see.
The KOAs are kind of crowded.
Yep.
It seems.
So here's a question. Jonathan said he's looking at getting a lift. Steph, what are you getting a lift or what's your plans on that? And if so, any ideas?
For my wife's Bronco, we put a 3.5 rough country lift, which is just control arms, spacers, stuff like that. So it's a good lift. It's nice for hers. It brings it up a good height for 35s. I can't use that on mine because of the Bilstein suspension.
Right.
So I'm waiting. I think they're working. Rough Country released a video on Instagram. It was a 7-inch lift they had on one of the Broncos cruising down the road, and that's pretty much all they said. That's a bit too much for me, But if you look at the other stuff products I have for other vehicles, their Vertex line of suspension is what I'm hoping that they come out with the Bronco.
Okay.
And I heard they're going to do like a 4 to 5 inch lift with that. So on a Badlands, I'll be replacing my Bilstein shocks with the Rough Country Vertex suspension, and then that'll be a proper lift for me. So that's what I want to do. Yeah.
So, and this is sort of getting back to what we've already talked about with a twist, though. Michael Cooper asked, will 37s fit on Sasquatch with a 1/2 or a 3-inch body lift?
Mm-hmm.
So, so I guess 3-inch, right?
3-inch would, but a body lift? Like you mean like spacers and controllers?
Yes, I think it's probably, right.
Yeah. Yeah, with the 3-inch, it will. You might rub. It depends on if you're off-roading or not. Like, that's the thing. My wife's not off-roading, so we put that 3.5 on hers and only 35s. And even if she off-roaded it, she'd be fine with that. But with me, with the Badlands and the sway bar disconnect, where I'm going to be off-roading, I really, off-roading is hard on your ball joints, on your tie rods and all that. So you really want everything to line up properly. So that's why I'm going to go with a coilover lift, because I actually plan on using it.
Yeah. It's not just there for looks and things like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. The geometry of this stuff is incredible. It's like the tie rods on if you're on a factory Bronco doing, riding on the road and doing light off-roading, you're probably fine, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's that really, it's when you start lifting it, you change the geometry and you really start flexing this thing and beating it around a little bit. I think that's where those issues. And so I get it. Some people, that's the life they live with their Bronco. It's just not mine. So it doesn't affect me, but it affects other people, right? Because that's what.
Do you know why it was so prominent? Do you think that people in Tacomas haven't been snapping tie rods for years?
Oh, because we have every Bronco being sold and people on social media talking about it. And
everybody with a Bronco who has never off-roaded before, and they're slamming into rocks with their wheels turned.
Right.
And I was doing the same thing. I may or may not have blown a front diff out of a certain vehicle before I had my Bronco. It was a very expensive learning lesson, but it's a bunch of people who are new to the off-road world. We're all learning. Right. And it's a failure point so that you don't mess up your steering rack.
Well, and that was the thing too. We kind of bouncing back and forth, but Bronco off rodeo, gear, they call it gear management. Don't use the lockers if you don't need them. Mm-hmm. Don't use the stay bar disconnect if you don't need it.
Yeah.
I mean, use it if you need it. That's why you have it. That's why you bought it. But I'm just saying, don't have your lockers engaged going down a dirt trail. Like, for example, this is, I don't know if this is just our Broncos or the way it is. If you're in sand mode, and when you go into sand mode, it locks your rear diff in, puts you in 4 high. And we talk about this quite a bit because this is something we experience. When you shift, if you try to shift out even at a mile per hour into normal mode, it'll shift back to normal, but it keeps the rear lockers engaged. Yeah. You have to come to a complete stop. Mm-hmm. Well, some people don't know that. And if you're not paying attention to the little amber light on the hero switches, you find out when you turn
the road with your lockers on.
Yeah, and you find out when you turn a corner, right?
Well, I was gonna say,
I've done that a few times, and it's not good.
No,
because you're in 4 high, but I think it's the low gears that you have to stop and switch to neutral.
Yeah, that's when you have to stop. Yeah,
so never mind.
Well, no, and so my thing is that, as we talk about this, and so new to wheeling is one thing, but also new to Bronco has its nuances, right? So I know, and the reason why it was an issue is because when you leave this beach in Nags Head, the Outer Banks of North Carolina, there's no shortage of like 10, 12 signs. Don't stop for no reason. Like your vehicle could be on fire, but don't stop, just keep moving. Because what happens is when you leave the beach area, it's real loose there.
Yeah.
And that's where most people get stuck. So if somebody stops up on the paved road, just off the sand, then there's sort of a little traffic jam happening, right? How many people get stuck?
And then people get stuck behind.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but there is a little a little bit of a pullover, and I'll make it to there and stop now and do my shifting because I don't want to forget and I'm in Fort High or forget I'm in locked or whatever. And then there's an air up station. So you can use your pump, your compressor. You have to drive like a mile down the road and you can use your pump or use their facilities to air back up. I have no desire to use my pump when there's free air there to use.
Sure.
Right?
It's a lot faster.
Yeah, it's a lot faster and you do it. So, so when you get into the wheeling, sure, there's four-wheeling in general stuff, but then there's the Bronco stuff, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. And I'm learning. I mean, I'm learning as well. So I don't claim to know it all at all. I would like to see how fast I could drive a Bronco though on the on the track.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a drag racing. Like, I don't understand the drag racing videos. What's your take on that?
I'm not a speed guy.
Okay.
I've got 37s on my Bronco.
You're not on a two-door. Yeah.
You know what? I can still pass people on the highway. Still,
yeah.
You know, I use all 6 of my gears and good to go.
Yeah. And
back to the tie rod thing.
Yeah.
If you go on Bronco 6G, I forget who it was, but somebody actually managed to find, because the Bronco tie rods are actually very expensive, but I think it's a tie rod for like a 2004 Ford Ranger or something, fits the Bronco, and you can get them aftermarket for like $7. The outer tie rods,
and the
inner tie rods. So I bought one for each, and I have one in each of my Broncos just in case it breaks.
Yeah, and then what about the outer?
Usually it's the inner that breaks, the threaded part. So, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Well, I'm going to look that up because that's, collecting some spare parts wouldn't be a bad thing to do.
Well, another video I'm going to make is a spare parts canister.
Got it. Like, what should you have on hand?
Yeah. Like a spare engine.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Are there any plans with the 2.3s to do anything to the engines?
What do you mean?
Catch cans or any type of tuning.
I work at a Ford dealership, and I've never seen any issues. I don't know. I don't think there's any issues with, like, I've looked up the catch can stuff, but I don't know if it's worth doing. Like, I've seen some pretty high mileage 2.3. The 2.3 is a solid engine.
Sure it is. Yeah.
I might consider, like, you can get, I think the Ranger has a power pack from Ford Performance that adds 70 horsepower. Just the tuning of it. It's a new air filter. So I'm assuming they're going to come out with it for the Bronco. I might consider it, but I don't know. I find the engine performs great the way it is.
Yeah, I think the only where the concern happens is, direct injection, well, boosted engines in general, but direct injection more so than dual injection, but even all of them really. And I think we're going to try it in a 2.7, which would be interesting to do it in Becky's Bronco. She has over 10,000 miles now. Where are you, 11?
Not quite 11,000. I can't believe
I'm convinced she just rides around in circles all day and just drives and drives.
That's my favorite pastime.
Yeah. But over 10,000 miles on it now. And it would be interesting to add one to see if we start collecting any sludge and things like that. It would be cool, I think, to find that out. Bronco 78 said, no matter, and this gets back to our wheeling comment, no matter what you drive, you need to learn the vehicle. And every vehicle has different weakness and capabilities. And that's exact. Well put, Bronco 78. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better because I was trying to figure that out. Rocco said 2.3 manual 37s. Is that the best look combo?
Of course it is.
I mean, yeah, your two-door already looks good, and then you put 37s on it. So in person, starting to get that sort of monster truck feel to it, right?
A little bit.
Could you imagine on 40s?
Don't get me started.
Yeah. Oh, that's next year.
Oh, no.
I'll have to upgrade my axles and
You might have to sleep on the couch for a long time.
Yeah. That would go.
You know what the worst part is my wife doesn't stop me. She likes it just as much as I do.
Okay,
Yeah,
well that's perfect.
I know. I'm just joking about that. It's like when I tell Becky, it's like, hey, guess what? I told her in a crowd of people that we had a Raptor coming. I wasn't going to tell her at home by myself. I needed witnesses. I needed witnesses.
Hey, it's
You know.
invite only. How could you not? Right?
Oh no, but yeah, we were at Supercell
Mhm.
East, and we were at a
Okay.
restaurant. And I said, "Oh, by the way,
No, we weren't.
Yes.
We were over by the Raptor.
I thought we were at a restaurant."
As a matter
I
of
don't
fact,
know.
no, I think we were talking to
It doesn't matter.
Mitch.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll see how that goes if we ever get it. We don't have a build date yet, so
Yeah.
I have no idea what's cooking on that. And let's see what else. So anything you want to add tonight? I mean, look, I want to tell everybody to go to North Shore Bronco on YouTube. Check out the videos. There's some. I remember a funny video that you were getting coffee one day, and so you had some little adventure between driving from getting coffee. There was some road. Somebody was cut you off or something like that. I was like, I like this guy, man. He's. I think you and I'd get along just fine because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
driving habits, I'm sure,
Yeah.
about the same.
Oh, yeah.
But
We'll meet up someday, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we will, and the videos, can be getting coffee in your Bronco, or getting stuck in the snow, or mudding, or 37s, or adding, or bumpers. So the cool thing about your channel is you've got a ton of different ideas out there, and stuff that people want to know.
Mhm.
And the more videos I do, I'm finding that it's the technical stuff that most people want to learn.
Mhm.
Do I want to do that? And if I
Yeah.
do it, how hard is it?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah,
And-
because some
and-
stuff is best left to either a dealer or a shop.
Exactly.
Like the lift kit on my wife's Bronco. I was gonna make a video of it, and then I was like, you need a spring compressor, and I could have done it, but it would have taken my whole weekend. So I just let the dealer do it for certain things are just not worth. I have enough to do
Yeah.
that I just kind of paid them to do it, and plus you have to go in for an alignment anyway. So
There was someone did a lift kit for a local person here that bought a Bronco, and I don't know what the kit was. I don't have any details. I just know that they got some type of lift done for $650 and an alignment,
Wow.
and that was the labor, right? Just the labor, and like I don't know in the world of off road if that's good or bad. It sounded real good to me, knowing what I didn't have to do.
that
Yeah.
that sounds like, well, in Canadian dollars over here,
Yeah.
that would get you like a front leveling kit
Right.
where they
Well,
only have to take the front end off, and then with the alignment and the parts, it'd be just pucks probably in the front. Yeah.
Right. And I think what I'm going to do is the shop that did it, I was going to talk to them, say, hey, you ever want to talk about what you do, and, do a video there, especially
Yeah.
if they have a Bronco in there, because I've heard several different people since I've been asking about this company now. They said, oh yeah, they're great. They did my friends. They did a vehicle for mine or whatever, and they're good on price. So you're hearing that consistently.
Yeah, it seems pretty.
Yeah. So, and when I get a
Line up.
lift, I will do a lift to one of our Broncos. I will put 37s on my Bronco eventually.
Oh, nice.
I did say early on that I'm happy with the 35s, and I am, and I'm going to
Mhm.
wear them out.
Yeah.
Whether it's the next set or the set after that, 37s will happen on
Mhm.
the either one of them. Let me say
It
that.
just looks right. Yeah.
Well, that's when you see it. It looks cool. So, but I want to keep you. I know you have to get up and get going early there. So, do you have 5 more minutes?
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's go through some of these comments because I'm
Yeah.
bad with that. I don't want to miss anything here. Mobile motto: most of the cost of a lift is going to be in the labor, and that's exactly right. In the labor, and ultimately the labor to do the alignment.
Yeah.
Rocco said, any word on beefier tie rods on the market? So would you have to upgrade or keep the fail at the tie rod? So you have the sleeve. Has anyone produced other than a Heim joint tie rod?
Well, a Heim joint.
Well, I think they call them Heims. That's what it's not a conventional tie rod. It's got that. I want to say it's a Heim type.
Yeah. I think I've seen those, and then Rough Country has the sleeves. That's by far the cheapest option. And if you're not like a serious off-road rock crawler, if you do like light off-roading stuff like that, I would just go for that. It just reinforces it. But I would also go on Bronco 6G and find out what that part number is there for those cheap tie rods, and keep some spares of those. Or then there's the Bronc Buster.
Mm-hmm.
but those are pretty expensive. But you don't have to take your tie rods off, so that's a bonus.
Right.
But like who was it that I just say? Rocco was saying the thing is, if you reinforce your tie rod, what's the next thing to break is your steering rack, which is a lot more money.
Right.
So that's why I kind of like the cheaper sleeve option, because you're kind of reinforcing it, but hopefully not enough that
You're not passing it through. Right.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
then there's the bushing from Bronkbuster as well
Right.
that you can get, so you can install that.
Hey, there's another upsell on a Wild Track with the optional 3.0 suspension. It comes with the heavy duty steering rack.
Yeah, so there are options, but I mean, for most people, you're not going to have to worry about that. And it all depends on what kind of off-roading you're doing as well. The issues is when your wheels are turned and when you're trying to bump obstacles and it's putting pressure on
Right.
these components. But if you're bumping something, make sure your wheels are straight. Try not to bump
Too hard. Yeah, just go. Yeah.
There's always different options. So I think the best thing is just technique and how to drive, not component. Don't put armor on stuff when you can just learn how to
go around. Yeah.
Obstacles properly.
Well, there again, when we were in Texas, we got to learn how to approach certain things, and it was different than I was thinking. Oh, I'm going to go. No, you don't do that, and here's why. Oh, okay. Better on the gear and the equipment. Chris Byrne had a comment here. He said he obviously watches your videos. What we were talking about earlier with the coffee, he said it was when you were trying to pass. Here we go. Put it back up there. You were trying to pass the one they sped up.
Oh yes,
yeah, that was yeah.
Yes,
I don't want to get you going
again. I drink my coffee to calm down.
Yeah. No worries. Let's see.
We've all had that happen. They're going slow, and you go to pass them, and they start speeding up.
Oh yeah, it's
frustrating.
Yeah, Rocco said, you do have great content. Keep it up. I agree. Let's see.
Mobile motto: the tie rod is the fuse. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, reinforce it, but it's debatable what to do.
Well, Tim with Overlanding for Fun, he was correcting me, and Becky, you were right again. He said we were in the Bronco Corral, the Bronco Nation Corral in Townsend, next to the Raptor.
I love those words. You were right.
You were right
again.
Yeah. So I gotta say it. Let's see. Jonathan, thanks for tuning in tonight. You said 2-door Sasquatch mid package. That's if that's your Bronco, that's a sweet build there. Let's see. Rocco said, "Bless your wife, North Shore." I guess what all the stuff you're doing. Mobile, 70s roller skate look. Let's see. 2.3. Rocco was talking about the 2.3 manual 37 best look combo. I agree. Let's see. Mobile Motto in here tonight. Bronco 78.
Oh, is it just me? Dwayne, you disappeared there for a sec.
I'm back.
There you go.
I love technology, man. I love it. What I love even better is when I'm used to it and I'm ready for you now. Technology. Let's see. Let me get back to the comments here. I'm gone in 60. I put your comment up there. Hello, if you're still watching. I haven't told Becky about the seat covers, but he was nice enough to send us some.
Cool.
And I will show that to you later. Thanks for sending that over. TC Customs put 37s on a stock Badlands, and they could steer and drive, but that's all they were willing to do. I haven't seen that video, Mobile. I don't know.
I think he later lifted it.
Okay.
Yeah, he lifted it later.
He lifted it.
I just pulled out a grinder and sawzall.
Yeah. It's just the grinder was cheaper and it was easier, it was faster. You had it there. I get it. Let's see. But Michael Cooper, thanks for tuning in tonight. Mobile Motto, Michael Cooper again, and Jonathan. And hey, Nick, thanks a lot. Chris Byrne, Overlanding for Fun. So Steph, what's new? What's coming up for your channel and anything else? And we're going to split.
Okay. Some future mods. I'm debating putting a rear spare delete on my Bronco, just to temporary, 90% of the time leave the spare at home if I go on a bigger trip or whatever, then I'll put the spare on.
Got it.
It's 100 pounds I'm carrying for nothing. I'm going to be making some, I did buy a forescan, so I'm going to be playing around with that because I want to tune my my wheel size and stuff, and I want to make some videos on gas mileage, but I want it to be like the real gas mileage. So once I have that tuned, I will be making some videos on gas mileage and some things that I learned on some tips and tricks, I guess, on how to get better gas mileage with 37s on a Bronco with a manual. And
yeah, what a time to lift your Bronco, right? With the gas prices.
I know. Well,
your timing is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's about it. I mean, it's just I'm busy in the summer. The mosquitoes are starting to go away, so I'll be going camping in the woods more.
Got it.
I do have a video. I went out with my son, but the mosquitoes were pretty bad. So, but the video coming out on that. Yeah. And that's it. I'm just going to keep going and keep modifying, and yeah.
So we all right. And I look forward to the videos. Definitely want to see all the reality in doing the mods too. I think that keeps everybody or if they're willing to do it or not. Nothing worse than buying something and it looks easy and gravy, and then it's just the worst thing in the world. Did real quick, and then we'll get to Dale's comment. Did you put your fold down table on your Bronco?
Oh yes, when we were talking about accessories, yes,
okay.
And we put it on my wife's Bronco as well.
So, but I mean, I saw it there, but you did it.
No.
Okay.
I had it done at the shop just because I've seen too many people drill through their tailgate, and
oh man, that'd be bad.
I repeatedly told the technician doing it that this happens, and please don't drill through my tailgate.
Yeah.
But, he installed the one on mine. He actually did all the work, get it done by the same guy, so he's really good.
We had a great installer as well, and I mentioned that deal with the tailgate and also the noise, and he said, well, first of all, here was the deal with the screws. They weren't putting these washers, and the screws were really close, and if you didn't put this one washer, it would go through. It's just like one thread. And then the other thing about the noise, he modified slightly and started using different washers and these bigger spacers because he had done 3 of them, and the first one made noise, and he redid it. And so there's nothing like once you do it a few times and you have that that craft there. So Dale, late to the show, hope it hasn't been asked, and it hasn't. Will 22s end up getting pushed to 23s? So I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know. Any word at your dealer, Steph?
No. The only thing that I've seen is whatever everybody's seen online, where Ford basically had stopped the orders because they wanted to finish everybody's orders. Like 22s pushed to 23s. Like, are you talking about, did you order this year or last year?
Well, if you have a 22 order, whenever I
would hope basically they would, everybody.
Yeah. But if you had a 22 order, are you being pushed to 20? Will it be a model year 23? So I do know this, Dale, that the order banks open for 23s. I think it's August 12th. I think it's August.
I thought September. I thought.
Oh, maybe it did get changed. Maybe it got changed. But October, I do remember this. October is when all the 22s, the production will end on the 22s in October. Okay. You want to go to Bronco?
September 12th.
Sure.
September 12th. Okay, so it did get moved.
Wow.
All right.
And productions, 2022 production stops October 28th.
Got it. Okay, so really the end of October too. So that everything is moved back. So Dale, I don't know, where you're at with allocation at your dealer, because that does have something to do with it. But how you built it, how you spec'd it.
Yeah.
Do you have a hitch? Is it Sasquatch? I don't know if the mod bumper is the 2.7. Do you think is that still an issue right now? Getting, is that one of the commodity?
The 2.7, I think it is compared to the 2.3.
Right.
But I think your big ones are going to be the hardtop, the modular bumper, and for a while it's the front differentials. So any Sasquatch or Badlands would have been an issue. Right. But you got to remember it's it has to be like a combination of Swiss cheese, basically, for
Yeah.
you to get through. And that's it, and that's what I wanted to say a while ago too. We got my wife's Bronco in like it was 3.5 months, I think, from order date to delivery. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
because I went and we chose a build with zero constraints, like zero. I
Smart.
went to my sales manager. He put it in. 2 days later, it was. I had a build date,
Wow.
and it just went bang, bang, bang. But like, you know, it was a 4-door black diamond, soft top, just a capable bumper. Nothing, no options. Mid package. Sorry, that's it. But the zero constraints, so it flew through.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too. We talk all the time about, but also get the Bronco you want. I remember I'd almost gave up a few things on my Bronco just because I wanted to get it.
I know.
And
Yeah.
I was listening to Dave's one of his live streams at All Terrain Nation, and he said, you switch on a top or something like that or whatever if you're okay with it, because you get a top later, but get the Bronco. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he's basically get the Bronco you want, right? So I thought about that, and I said, I'm not going to give up Sasquatch. I'm not going to give up 2.7. I'm not. Mm-hmm. And so then ultimately I ended up waiting again, and I don't know.
But once you did switch order to the soft top, you did get a build date.
And I was okay with that.
Very soon thereafter.
Yeah. So I basically, there was a Bronco Nation had, the gentleman with Ford, the Bronco brand manager, Estevan. He said, if you don't have a build date and you have a hard top, you're probably going to be pushed to a 22. And I was like, okay. So I changed to a soft top a week later. That, every Thursday you got the email. The next week I had a build date, and a month later I had the Bronco. I'm like, I'll do it. But we did wait on Becky's for the MIC top, which took till January of this year.
Yeah, but we were fine with that. We weren't in a hurry, obviously.
See, this is what I tell people. If you haven't ordered yet and you want a Bronco, don't order the Bronco you want. Order the Bronco you can get.
Yeah.
And once you get it, put an order in for the Bronco you want.
There you go.
And when it comes in, you'll be able to get you'll get all your money back.
Right, you will.
Yeah. And then the cool thing about that too is, what if you got the 2.7 and realized you wanted a 2.3 or vice versa?
Exactly. And then you get to see, maybe I don't want this, or maybe I should have got this.
Right.
So that's what I say. Don't get the Bronco you want. Get the Bronco you can get, and then put an order in for what you want. And then you can wait. And then the wait will be a lot less painful because you're driving a Bronco.
Right. You already have one.
You're not.
I like how Mobile Motto says everyone on screen has at least 2 Broncos.
I know.
Sorry, guys.
So, yeah. I mean, it's just the way it worked out.
We just were really lucky.
I reserved 17 months for my first one.
Yeah. So, I reserved 2.
Yeah.
I ordered 1, held off on the other one, then turned it into an order.
Yeah.
And then we priority coded. It was an order initially, then we did it priority code 99. I don't know if I ever told you this story. This couldn't happen any crazier. What happened was, at the end of October, all of the priority code 99s had to be turned from a 21 into a 22.
Yeah.
And then you could recode it priority code 99 again, but you had to go from a 21 to a 22, which means you had to take it off of that. Well, I love my dealership. They're great. But the person that does this happened to be off on Thursday. Well, guess what Thursday is, right? The day you get the email.
Yeah.
Wednesday, they converted it from a 21 to a 22. And then Friday, they were going to put it back on priority code 99.
Too late.
Thursday, I got the build date for it. And I was like, oh, no. But I will tell you, I learned firsthand experience, not hearsay. We had a Wild Track, a race red Wild Track hardtop with mid package, because I hadn't decided on the interior, and so we just kept it how and I panicked. I was like, it's not the one I want. I was able to change the color, the trim, and the interior. I was able to change all of that, even after a VIN.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So now it was a day after the VIN, but it changed, and it's sitting in the garage right now. And I kept the original printout of all that, stuff. So that was interesting. I don't think it's maybe it slipped by. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, good. You got lucky.
So Dale said I ordered November 21 Big Bend 4-door 2.7 hardtop tow pack. So the Big Bend shouldn't be an issue. 4-door is not really an issue at all. That's actually in your favor. 2.7 hardtop and tow. Those are the three things, right? If 2.7 still is or not. Someone was telling me that they thought it was lightening up. So
I don't know if the tow package is still a big deal, but you can easily get a tow or a tow bar from Kurt. I actually have a funny video of an install coming up for that there.
That ought to be. I can't wait to see that because a lot of people ask about the tow. Now, I do know that with the factory tow, you get the 7-pin and the 4-pin, and I think aren't most aftermarket ones just a 4-pin. They're
just a 4-pin, but you get you get the 7-pin, but there's no. It's just for the lights. Like you can't tow. There's no brakes or anything.
Right. Just your basic old school tow pack type thing.
Yeah. There's a Kurt Manufacturing makes a kit. It's like $80 that it converts a 4-pin to a 7-pin, and then you just got to run your wires to the brake controller. So.
Yeah, Chris Bird said he has a die-cast model of a Bronco. So I have an Area 51 4-door model over here.
Yeah, that's Gavin's.
Yeah, it was Gavin's.
Gavin negotiated that at Super Salt East.
Yeah. And then before that, he said when I was just bumming because I didn't have it, he's like, "Hey, Dad, we can go to Walgreens and get you one, local pharmacy. They had them on the shelf." I'm like, dude, the last thing I need to do is look at a miniature version of the Bronco that I want. Yeah. Exactly. And I think on the two Bronco thing for us, it was a little bit different, but we needed two vehicles, and the way it worked with our reservation, because we decided to reserve 2, order 2, it worked at our allocation. I had a timestamp that really in the macro doesn't affect a whole lot, but at your dealership it matters. That tells you. If you get 10 Broncos a year and you're order number 11, well, guess what? You're next year.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, well, Steph, Vancity Adventure said, hello everyone over there. How are you doing? So I really appreciate you being on. We did go a little bit longer than I told you, an hour and 30 minutes. So let's wrap this up. I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate everyone watching the comments tonight. If I didn't get to your comment, I do apologize. Next week, tune in and remind me I didn't do it. But when you get a chance after this live, go over to North Shore Bronco on YouTube and also on Instagram.
Yeah.
Check out your content. Your videos are real. I'd like to say they're raw and real, meaning they're just you. It looks like you set up a tripod, you start the camera, and you roll.
Yep.
That's basically it.
Cut out the boring parts and the editing, or I try.
Yeah, a couple beeps here and there, but those are appropriate. I understand. Yeah. But the content's great. Keep it up, and definitely everyone check them out, and don't forget to subscribe over there.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm gonna head out.
All right, we're out of here. All right, everyone. Well,
nice to see you.
Hey, it's see you, Steph. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's Steph over at North Shore Bronco. Great guy. I love the content over there. It's pretty awesome. Anything that you want to wrap up in? And I guess, I did make it sound like we're just going to roll out, but let's spend a few minutes and say hello to everyone. Tim with Overlanding for Fun. It's fine. It is. Hey, Nick, good night. Definitely. We appreciate you. Time well spent, learning a lot. Cheers. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah. And you always have nice comments on there. And I definitely appreciate it. And that motivates us to want to do more. I brainstormed today. I try not to just think of stuff to talk about, right? Just stuff, but stuff that's relevant. And today we had 3 ideas for videos that we're going to do. And I think it's all maybe people are asking. Yeah, I see a lot in comments. So one of the videos there. One is a 2.7 video. So that ought to get going. Remember when it went crazy with the 2.7 video we had before?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, that was just after all of the stuff.
Well, before it had gotten a lot of traction, both videos, the 2.3 and the 2.7. But then after the Bronco made the news for their issues, so to speak, not really.
Well,
and it's
not
real quiet.
Yeah.
It's real quiet again. But anyways, then you were
just wait till slow news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This video didn't age well. Well,
And Nick is asking
Yeah.
if you're on Instagram. Nick,
So-
yes.
yeah, Nick, I am. Same name, Bronco Wild Outdoors.
Mhm.
Are actually
And there are lots of Instagram posts.
yeah, you can look up Bronco Wild Outdoors. We had a
And Facebook as well. Same name.
yeah, my handle had changed, but we got it changed back. But and yeah, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we try to make it simple.
And I'm gone in 60. Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Glad you joined us.
Good night. And Jonathan, good night. Appreciate you joining. Mobile said Badlands MGV marine grade vinyl seats are sleepable. I agree. I mean, didn't I tell you that I thought the seats, the marine grade vinyl, they're much more comfortable than the leather?
Yeah.
That was my
I mean,
imagination.
I don't really find a difference in comfort between them and the leather. I think they're very comfortable. The only complaint I have, in full disclosure, full honesty, they're a little hot.
Yeah, well,
They're a little hot, I
but
think.
do you agree that they cool off though once the initial scorch is over with? It seems that
Okay, so
it
they
seems that you
do,
don't
but
keep
I'm gonna
burning.
tell you, your legs get really sweaty.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Nick said he has some pictures of Tom's off-road. I would like to see
Yeah,
those.
you
Yes,
need to
send
share
them over to
those.
us. And as long as there's something in there that just give me permission to share them on YouTube. Just make sure you type that in there. It's okay to share these. As long as there's nothing in there that the reason why I can, I'll share it here and we'll go from there and definitely, or share them on Instagram. I should
I
say.
think one thing, Mobile Motto mentioned, I got a hot seat once at work already. I think it would help to have the covers. What do you call them? The window shades, just to keep things cool.
So Mobile did a Wally docking thing.
Mhm.
That's like the Walmart parking lot has to be interesting at night because especially right next to the major interstate. Because I watch these videos of people.
Yeah, it's a
Camp?
thing.
Yeah, and like what's his name? Traveling Robert. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
His channel, Traveling Robert. Like he's always doing stuff like that. And by the way, if you want to watch good,
his little trailer behind him, his little Airstream.
It is Traveling Robert, right?
I think so.
Yeah, look at me. I just know his name's Robert. If you're looking for good content, I can tell you he has a good channel.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone's comment here. And for those 20 still sticking around, thanks for watching me go through the comment. You're supposed to be doing the comments for me. You need to tighten up next week.
I've been.
Hey, is Gavin going to be back next week? You hope so?
Oh, I don't know. He might be camping.
Yeah, Gavin. Summertime, he's living his best life. So he's always has something going with friends or whatever. And it just seemed like it's Wednesday night.
He was available tonight, but he's puppy sitting.
Well,
and that's why I had to cut out once because the puppy arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Traveling Robert.
Yeah, Traveling Robert on YouTube. Check out his channel as well. It's some pretty cool stuff. And the singing in there is interesting. He writes and music and produces it.
It's really good.
Yeah, pretty cool dude. So, hey, everyone, we're out. I do appreciate you joining us tonight. Thank you very much. And it's been kind of quiet with something. Tim, Overlanding for Fun. I have a video that maybe you and I can connect with on. I'm going to send you some details on that. I think it'll be cool. And I did see your comment about the U.S. semiconductor lobby got their $58 billion. They can get it going now. I can guarantee it. So hopefully, commodities free up. Everyone gets their Bronco, and I don't know how many 22s will be turned to 23s. The closer we get to that, I think that if that were to happen, I think we would start to find out maybe in September, that news would break. But as of right now, they're just,
push it to September.
They're building them and they sold a lot of them in July. So, good job Ford for that. And the men and women at Michigan Assembly Plant, you guys get it done. If you're watching now, watching on replay, we appreciate you. It's the job, right? But I also know that it's a lot. I guess there's a lot of overtime there, but I know there's a lot of hustling in there. So, we appreciate you. So for what that's worth. All right, everyone, I'm out.
Nice to see you guys.
That means she's out too. And see you next week.
Have a great week. Have fun. Go off-roading. Do something awesome.
And watch some videos coming out this week. All right, everyone. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.